With age comes wisdom, but sometimes getting older can impact our self confidence. Here with tips for boosting confidence over 40 is the founder of Fearlessly Facing 50. We have Amy Schmidt. Welcome, Amy.
How are you? So
Yeah,
great to be here.
yeah, we're happy to have you on. And Amy, I'm excited to talk about this topic. And I wanted to start off by asking, why do you think that when we start hitting our 30s and our 40s and up, our confidence kind of can take a hit?
Oh, I know. Isn't that true? And it happens. And it's kind of this slippery slope, to be honest. And one of the main reasons we do is because we undervalue ourselves or we make ourselves out to be less significant than we are. We forget about those moments of brilliance that we have accomplished on our journey and we kind of have just pushed them aside. So it's something we definitely can boost our confidence every day. It's like a muscle. We just have
Yeah.
to practice.
Yes, definitely practice. And I wanted to ask, do you think media can sometimes make a big impact on how people, maybe even more so women, lose confidence as they age?
Oh, such a good question. Well, right. I mean, we talk about comparison being the thief of joy, right?
Yeah.
And it's so easy to do that when you're scrolling and you're looking at everybody's best of the best.
Hmm.
And we have to remember that those things are filtered and they're only posting their best things. So we have to get away from that. And that's something we deal with, as teenagers all the way through our life is comparing ourselves to others. So we have to kick that to the curb and really embrace our accomplishments and what I like to call our highlight reels.
All right, Amy. Well, you're here to help us. So, how can people gain confidence as they age?
Yeah, I think there's some great ways that you can start doing right away. And one is this highlight reel. And when I say that, I want you to think back as, a wife, a mother, a daughter, a sister, whether you're one of those things, all of those things, it doesn't matter. And look at what you've done over this last decade or two or three for depending on your age. And look at those stories, those things that you've accomplished, those successes, also those challenges and those failures, because we all fail. Write them down. Use this as an exercise for self reflection. Jot them down, and then you go back to those things and say, that's right. I did manage that budget for that committee when I was volunteering. So I am pretty good with money. Maybe I can apply for this job. You really have to look back at what you've done. And so often, especially women, and men do it too, we just kind of push them to the side. We undervalue what we've accomplished. So start by, just taking a few minutes to really self-reflect on what you've accomplished.
I like that. I like that a lot. And why do you think it's so easy for us to kind of get in our own way?
Oh, it's so easy. Because a lot of times we count ourselves out before we even put ourselves in the ring, right? I mean, when you think about it, and statistics show that women over men, and I know men do this as well, but women, when they go for a new job, if they're trying to make a pivot, if they're starting something new, they think they have to check every single box. I've got to
Hmm.
check it all or I can't apply. They take themselves out before. So, you know what? Look at those areas where you need a little skill development, and obviously, there's resources. Look what we're doing today, just doing this virtually. I don't have to be in studio with you. You can learn how to do these things, enhance your skill sets, and go for those jobs. You don't have to check every box. And I think that's a lot of times why we get in our own way.
I like that you said that. All of your tips have been so uplifting. So I think you're right. Like we can definitely get in our own head, but as long as we're
Yes.
doing whatever we need to do to improve, it's definitely manageable. What are things we can do to increase our confidence?
Oh boy. You know what? It takes practice for sure, but think about something that you haven't pushed play on recently, something that you've kind of pushed pause, no matter where you are in your journey, and say, you know what? I'm going to do that. Whether it's joining a new class, maybe it's a language you want to learn, maybe it's joining a committee for something you've wanted to volunteer for. But, put yourself out there, trust yourself. Self reliance is a huge part of building confidence. We have to trust in our abilities to move forward. So go for something new, pursue a passion. Adopt that learner's mindset. Become a novice again. That's the best way to boost your confidence.
Awesome. And could you also tell us a little bit about you and Fearlessly Facing 50?
Oh, yeah. Thank you for asking. It's funny because I think we all have our journeys. And about 6 months before I turned 50, I was sitting in a quiet house. I have three kids and a husband, and it was quiet. And all of a sudden, I was sitting there and thinking, where did Amy go?
Hmm.
She used to be a journalist. She was this, she was that. Where is she now? And I think it really was that time in my life where I needed to push play. I knew there was more to do, more to challenge myself, more to learn, and more to experience. So that's what I did. And that's why I went ahead and launched my podcast, Fearlessly Facing 50. didn't know how to do it. And funny story, I talk about it in my TED talk. I forgot to push record on my first ever podcast that I did, and I put it out there because you know what, that happens.
Yeah.
So what do? You either have that self doubt that sets in and says, okay, I can't do this, or you say, you know what, I'm going to try again. And that's what we have to do. So that's my journey. And that's really where I launched my business. And I was almost 50.
Oh my gosh. Well, we're going to have to bring you back, Amy, because you yourself are a confidence booster. Thank you so much for joining us. And for more information, you can check out fearlesslyfacing50.com.